Hello everyone, Brickosaurus227 here, and welcome to another episode of the Nerf Archives Season 3. Today we have another guest appearance. Sadly though, it's not who it originally was going to be. Originally, I was going to have Welcome S7 on here and he was going to talk about the Strong Arm. Sadly, he couldn't make it for this season, but he will be in an upcoming season very soon. So I need a quick last minute replacement, so I went to my good friend Spider Avenger Miller and requested him to talk about his favorite Nerf blaster, the Nerf Zombiestrike Hammershot. A blaster that completely changed the fabric of the hobby when released, and is still a staple to this day when it comes to Nerf sidearms. So without further ado, let's cue the intro.
What up, dude bros? Spider Avenger Miller. Upon your host, Brickosaurus227, he has brought me back for another episode of Nerf Archives. And this time, we're looking at my favorite blaster of all time, probably type the Nerf Rebel Hades, is the Nerf Zombiestrike Hammershot, one of the greatest sidearms Nerf has ever made. And they probably will never make another good one like it. So let's just get into it. So the Nerf Zombiestrike Hammershot came out August 8th of 2013, and it debuted the new Zombiestrike series, which was zombies have taken over the world and a very fun option. But this is a single-handed hammer-primed option that is very good. So of course there's no in-strike barrel lug. This was obviously, there's no way you can make that unless you 3D printed the front end. Up above we do have a tactical rail if you wanted to simply put on a scope on your pistol. I don't really know why you would do that, but you can. And then of course we have the 5-round cylinder, and the cool thing about this is this can be swapped out for 6, 8, 10, you can name it. But back behind we do have the hammer and the prime. It's just as simple as that. And the hammer prime is very smooth, and if you have smaller hands, this is a little difficult, but if you had regular sized hands or oversized hands, it's good. But if you have a smaller hand, you kind of have to break your grip to do it. But of course, if you wanted to go fast, you could just as simple as that. Back down below, we do have the trigger. The trigger pull is a very nice clean break. It is a little bit of a sensitive trigger, especially if you're someone who likes to keep your finger in the trigger guard, which is wrong. You should not do that. I have a big thing against that. Punk.
Why would you say those things to me?
But anyway, it's a pretty smooth trigger for the most part, and it does technically have slam fire. It's called fan firing, to where you can hold down the trigger and you can do this and release it, and that fires a dart. It's the cool thing about it, like you could just go, and it's pretty okay, but with the stock hammer it's hard to do that. But there are hammers that are made with a more aggressive beaver tail, so you can do that. And then down to the grip. The grip is of course very comfortable. It's a very nice option. The cloth wrap is definitely not for most people, and the middle part of the finger does rub up a little bit here, but still I'm able to forgive that because this is my favorite blaster ever. And then of course there's a sling mount down here, and that is an external overview. Now I want to show you this thing firing.
Firing Zombiestrike darts. One-handed shooting. Attempting the fan now. Some extra sandy darts.
So as you can see, the Hammershot is the best of all time. put this thing over my chronograph, and the average of the Hammershot is about 65 feet per second, which is, again, it's soft for a primary, it's acceptable for a pistol. But the thing is, if you wanted to upgrade this thing's power, you totally can. There are mod kits for the Hammershot everywhere. You can get them from Lord Draconical, you can get them on Out of Darts, you can go literally anywhere. And you can take this thing up to a very good velocity. And that is, of course, all I have to say about the Hammershot. Now to my personal opinion, which is, of course, this thing's the best. This one is one of the best sidearms Nerf has ever made. It is small, it's compact, and you can turn this thing into so many fun things. And of course, on Brickosaurus's ratings, I of course gave it a 10 out of 10. He might have a different opinion, but that's his opinion. My opinion is this is one of the best blasters that Nerf has ever made, and I really love it so much. And if you want to pick this one up, they're always on Amazon for 15 bucks. Typically, you can pick up the Hammershot in any different variant that you want. There's the orange variant, there's the red variant, there's the yellow variant, and there's the purple and green variant. I personally think that one looks like the Joker. But the Hammershot is still a really great option, especially for what it has today. Of course, we have so many different choices for pistols nowadays. We have the Outlaw, we have the Mark II, the Mark 2.1, we have so many different variants. But this is still one that I see out on the field today. This has been my trusty sidearm for 4 years now, and I've seen so many different people mod them to still have them as a good sidearm. It's still a really great option and one of my personal favorites and my favorite recommendation. But if you don't want to hear from me, I'm going to turn it back to the host of the show. Thank you so much for having me again. Much love, blast on, and stay tactical.
Huge thanks to Spider Avenger Miller for appearing in this episode of the Nerf Archives as a last-minute replacement to Waltgun. I greatly appreciate it. But what do I think of the Hammershot? Well, personally, it's not my cup of tea.
Shall I make us all a cup of tea?
Now, I do want to say that is strictly a personal opinion. I know that this is one of the best sidearms you can get on the market. It just personally isn't for me. The grip doesn't suit me that well as far as how it's oriented with the trigger. The overall shape and size of it is kind of weird to me, but it is still an amazing blaster nonetheless, and definitely deserves all the praise it gets. If I could change one thing about my top 5 overrated blasters list, that would be removing this from the list. Because simply, it is an amazing blaster for the right people. For me, it doesn't specifically work, but that's just me. And I would definitely give it the amazing rating. No doubt about it. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. And again, huge thanks to Spider Avenger Miller for being a stand-in guest appearance for the Nerf Archives. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned because we got a lot more cool episodes coming out, and I can't wait to get them out. I know there's been a few delays with stuff with reviews and things, and there may be like one more delay for the episodes because I do have to get another review out. But generally, everything else should release as scheduled. Anyway, guys, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.
My junk drawer, my junk drawer. So many things I don't know what they're for, but I won't let it go. No, I will add more useless little things to my junk drawer.